a journey through four-dimensional thinking. We dive into a fascinating exploration of four-dimensional thinking, a concept that challenges the boundaries between what we think, feel, and experience. It's as if the line that separates our mind from the world around us begins to dissolve. Ready for this trip? Let's go. Imagine for a moment that everything that exists is happening right now, at this very moment. This is the essence of four-dimensional thinking, a way of seeing life that goes beyond the limitations of our daily lives. It's the idea that the conversations we have with ourselves, those silent dialogues in our heads, not only shape our thoughts, but also build the world around us. What you think, what you imagine in the deepest corners of your mind, creates the experiences you have, both with people and the environment around you. These inner thoughts are like seeds of imagination, and what we imagine comes to life, like scenes projected on the screen of space. But what do we really want to create? When we talk about creation, we are not talking about inventing something from scratch, as if by magic. We are talking about revealing what already exists, but we do not yet see. Everything, in essence, is already there, waiting for the moment to become real. Think of it as a journey to make visible what, for now, is just a possibility. Our thoughts, our visions, and our internal dialogues are like a compass that guides us on this path. Our inner voice, different from that constant mental noise, speaks calmly, harmoniously, and abundantly. She reminds us that in the fourth dimensional realm, anything is possible. This concept, so well explored by Neville Goddard, invites us to imitate divine creation, key to call the invisible into reality as if it were already visible. What we don't see can still become real, and we have the power to make that happen by using our imagination. Before something materializes, these intimate conversations we have with ourselves are the birthplace of imagination. They are the starting point for what we imagine and eventually manifest in our lives. In four-dimensional thinking, we learn to echo the divine act of bringing the invisible into the visible world. We cultivate faith, which, as Neville said, is loyalty to the invisible reality. It is a deep trust in the existence of all things, even if they have not yet appeared in our physical world. Therefore, I always repeat, we are the architects of our reality. We can shape it with our thoughts and sculpt it with our internal conversations. What we visualize in the mind is not just a passing daydream. It is a process that unfolds before us. Neville Goddard observed that many people, including himself, have already perceived events before they happen in the three-dimensional world. This suggests that life on Earth follows a plan, a script that exists in another dimension, and that, little by little, manifests itself in our space. Our senses, as powerful as they are, often blind us to the invisible wonders that surround us. To truly see what lies beyond, we need to free the mind from the limitations of what we see, touch, or hear. We must focus on the feeling of the invisible. Notice it until it becomes as real as the world around us. Throughout life, we have been taught to believe that our five senses define reality. But there comes a time in our spiritual growth when we begin to think for ourselves. As the expression goes, outside the box. At that moment, we ask deep questions. What do we really want? How do we want to live? By answering these questions, we discover desires that take us along unique paths. Our intuition, that inner voice, becomes our guide. It helps us interpret the world from different angles, and in doing so, we find success and manifest results in ways that are unique to each of us. Some might even call us geniuses or creative thinkers. By manifesting what we desire, we learn to overcome the limitations of three-dimensional thinking, which often traps us in the past or future. When we affirm that something is already done, we change our state of mind. Even though the external world seems the same, our perception transforms, and a new reality begins to reveal itself. By aligning our internal dialogue with our vision, we connect our desires to the physical world. Thus, We stop feeling oppressed by external circumstances, other people's opinions, or unfavorable environments. We choose experiences from the outside world, guided by our inner voice, which takes us along unexpected but purposeful paths, connecting us with people and places that resonate with our spiritual journey. This is the essence of our inner journey, where intuition, self-talk, and sincere desires meet to create a life that goes beyond the ordinary. But let's explore this further, because there are hidden truths that can transform our lives. Imagine you have decided to start a new career. Okay, now think, what if you could feel the essence of this new career as if it were already real? To do this, we need to immerse ourselves in the vision of what we desire with all our senses activated, living this imaginary moment as if it were true. In this sacred moment, we make an act of faith, and that is where the transformation begins. Even though external reality seems unchanged, we begin to notice subtle changes. New feelings arise, inspirations appear, and people enter our lives unexpectedly. These connections guide us to opportunities that go beyond the ordinary. This unconventional development is the core of four-dimensional thinking. In four-dimensional thinking, the main point is that everything exists now. Our existence is part of this reality. To master the art of seeing the invisible, we need to free the mind from the limitations of the five senses. Focus on an invisible state. Feel it until it becomes as real as the world around you. A good practice is to enter an almost meditative state where you fix your mind on a single image that represents what you want to achieve. Another option is to create affirmations, declaring that your wish has already come true. These practices take us to a different state of mind, where we feel that it is already real. Think of your thoughts as a concentrated beam of light. When you focus intensely in a specific direction, other distractions disappear. Concentration is the key to manifestation, and a crucial part of this concentration is paying attention to our internal conversations. Make sure your internal dialogue is aligned with the outcome you want. Okay. As you observe internal changes, you will naturally see changes in the external world. Okay. It is a harmonious dance between your inner world and external reality. This process invites us to joyful concentration and unwavering focus on our vision, because we know the power is within us. Our inner world is the catalyst for transformation, shaping the outer world to reflect our beliefs and assumptions. Over time, we become more skilled at changing our internal conversations and observing the beautiful metamorphosis in our external reality. Remember, the power to create your reality lies in you. This practice opens the doors to deep spiritual insight and gives us the ability to look beyond the world of the senses, where hidden truths wait to be discovered, as the biblical passage in Romans 1:20 says, "For the invisible attributes of God have been clearly seen since the creation of the world, it's being perceived through the things that have been made." To understand our vision, we need to understand that it works independently of our physical senses. We can't just trust what we see or touch. We need to awaken our spiritual senses to discern the mysteries of life. This may seem contrary to what we learn about the world of the five senses, but it is the key to four-dimensional thinking, the belief that everything exists here and now, and that we can perceive events before they manifest in the physical world. To cultivate this thinking, we need to look inward and observe our internal dialogue, the conversations we have about our daily experiences and our visions for the future. I'm not telling you to get stuck in a future that hasn't arrived yet. This knowledge is just a tool to help manifest what you want for your life. Think, for example, of times when we face rejection. One questions our aspirations, saying we are destined to fail. This may be uncomfortable to hear, but if we look closely, we will realize that before this external event, there was an internal conversation. Maybe you thought, "Can I do it? Am I capable?" This dialogue of doubt, fueled by your own thoughts, manifests as someone else's discouraging words. The rejection we encounter in the world of the five senses may reflect a doubt or assumption within us. The power to change reality lies in transforming these internal assumptions. All changes, all transformations begin in our consciousness. They do not happen in the external world, as it may seem. They begin as subtle movements within us. It's like a story unfolding on the grand stage of our lives. The outside world is like a mirror, reflecting the changes happening within us. Behaviors, environments, circumstances, and the information we encounter are the canvas on which our internal changes are painted. With all my heart, hope that this concept is the key to the transformation you seek, whether in your desires or in your spiritual growth. Try not to see yourself as a product of just your five senses, because this can lead us to a reality that we believe we cannot control. To purify our minds and adjust our internal conversations, we need to recognize that these conversations are not just reflections of our experiences. They are, in fact, the architects of our external world. This may seem challenging at first, as we tend to believe that the external world is the cause of our reality. But with dedication, we can change our perspective. Remember, all change is born in consciousness. Even the future, carefully planned, offers multiple paths at each stage of our lives. It is our internal conversations, our dialogues with the outside world, whether through circumstances or information, that guide us to the future we desire. There are many ways to achieve what you want, with effort, with fluidity, or a mixture of both. The choice is yours. When you understand that all changes happen in consciousness, your internal dialogue becomes proactive. By affirming that all power and all possibilities exist now, you enter a world of infinite opportunity, shaping your reality with intention and grace. This journey into four-dimensional thinking is like opening a door to a world where you don't just dream, but make your dreams take shape. It's exciting, isn't it? Let's continue exploring how we can use this concept to transform our lives in practical and engaging ways. Now, imagine that you are sitting in a quiet place, perhaps with a cup of coffee or tea, thinking about something you really want. It could be a career change, a more harmonious relationship, or even a trip you've always dreamed of taking. Four-dimensional thinking teaches us that, to make this real, it is not enough to just wish. We need to experience this reality in our mind first, as if it were already happening. It's like rehearsing a play before going on stage. You imagine yourself in that new job, feeling the excitement of completing an incredible project. Or you visualize that special moment with a loved one, with all the vivid details, the sounds, the smells, the sensations. This exercise of imagination is not just a fantasy. It's powerful because it activates something within us. When we surrender to this vision with faith, we begin to feel internal changes. Maybe you notice a newfound confidence, clarity about next steps, or even an unexpected coincidence, like meeting someone who unknowingly opens a door to what you want. These coincidences are not random. They are the external world beginning to reflect what you have cultivated internally. But how can we maintain this focus, especially when everyday life bombards us with distractions, doubts, or even criticism? This is where the importance of monitoring our internal dialogue comes into play. You know those moments when the mind starts to wander, questioning whether we are good enough or whether our dream is too big. These thoughts can be like stumbling blocks. The key is to replace them with affirmations that reinforce our vision. For example, instead of thinking, "Will I make it?" try saying to yourself, "I'm already living this. It's done." Sounds simple, but this change of tone in your internal dialogue can be transformative. Another important point is patience with yourself. We live in a world that values immediate results, but four-dimensional thinking reminds us that creation is a process. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the tree the same day, but if you take care of it carefully, it grows strong. Every Time you dedicate yourself to imagining your desired reality, to feeling like it is already yours. You are watering that seed. And slowly, the world around you begins to align with that vision. Let's bring this to something more concrete. Let's say you want to improve your health, maybe feel more energetic and strong. Four-dimensional thinking, you don't just want it. You imagine yourself running in the park, feeling the wind on your face, your heart beating with energy, your body light. You experience this feeling in your mind, perhaps before bed, when you are most relaxed. And at the same time, you begin to listen to your inner voice. It can guide you to small actions, like choosing a healthier diet or starting a light walk. These actions, however small they may seem, are a reflection of your inner work. And over time, you realize that you are not only healthier, but also more confident, more at peace with yourself. What is fascinating about four-dimensional thinking is that it frees us from the idea that we are victims of circumstances. How many times have we felt trapped by something external, a demanding boss, a tight financial situation, or even someone's opinion? But by changing our internal dialogue, we realize that we have the power to choose how these things affect us. Instead of reacting with frustration, we can ask ourselves, how can I use this to grow? How can I turn this situation into my vision for the future? This shift in perspective is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you see possibilities where before there were only obstacles. And here's a reflection for our audience. We're between 25 and 70 years old. No matter what stage of life you are in, this concept is for you. Whether you're rethinking your career in your 40s, seeking more purpose in your 50s, or exploring new dreams in your 60s, four-dimensional thinking is a universal tool. He reminds us that it is never too late to create, to rewrite the story of our lives. And, most importantly, it connects us with a profound truth. The power to transform is within us, no matter our age. To make this even more interesting, think about how the great minds in history have used something similar. Inventors, artists, leaders. Many of them had a clear vision of what they wanted before it existed. They didn't wait for the world to give them permission. Okay? They imagined, believed, and acted. And you can do the same at your own pace, in your own path. Maybe your vision is something grand, like starting a business, or something more personal, like building stronger bonds with your family. The size of the dream doesn't matter. What matters is the clarity with which you see it and the faith with which you pursue it. So, how can we practice this in everyday life? Here are some simple but powerful ideas for incorporating four-dimensional thinking into your routine. Create a moment to imagine. Take a few minutes, perhaps before bed or when you wake up, to visualize your desire. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and live this reality in your mind. Feel the joy, the peace, the fulfillment. Adjust your self-talk. When you notice thoughts of doubt or fear, pause. Replace them with positive affirmations. For example, I can do it. My vision is becoming reality. Pay attention to the clues. Pay attention to small changes around you. An unexpected conversation. It's an idea that comes out of nowhere. An opportunity that appears. They are signs that your vision is taking shape. Celebrate the small steps. Every action you take towards your desire, no matter how small, is a victory. Acknowledge this and feel gratitude for the process. This practice is not about forcing things or fighting the world. It's about flowing with confidence, knowing that you are co-creating your reality. And as you go deeper into this, something magical happens. You begin to realize that life is not something that just happens to you. It is a dance between your inner world and the outer world, and you are the choreographer. Think about it. Four-dimensional thinking is not just a theory or a distant concept. It is a practical tool, a lens that allows us to see life differently. He invites us to take command of our reality, to be the directors of the film of our own lives. Each thought, each internal conversation is like a brush in the hands of an artist creating strokes that, over time, form a masterpiece. And that masterpiece is the life you want to live. I want you to leave this narrative with a flame burning in your heart. It doesn't matter if your dream is big or small, if it's something you want for tomorrow or for the next few years. What matters is that you have the power to start now. Today, you can choose a vision, something that makes your heart sink in. Start living it out in your mind. Feel it, believe it, and notice how the world around you begins to align, as if it is conspiring in your favor. To make this even more real, I want to share one last story. Think of someone who, at age 50, decided they wanted to learn something new, perhaps play an instrument or write a book. At first, doubts arose. Am I too old? Do I have time? But instead of letting these inner voices take over, this person began to imagine themselves playing a beautiful melody or holding the newly published book. She visualized these moments in detail, feeling the joy of each achievement. Little by little, he started taking small steps, a class here, a chapter there. And over time, what was just a dream in the mind became reality. This story is not fiction. It's what happens when we align our imagination, our faith, and our actions. And you, what is your story? What do you want to create? Maybe it's reconnecting with a loved one, finding more balance in your routine, or even daring something you've always put off until later. Four-dimensional thinking reminds us that the moment is now, a tomorrow, not when everything is perfect. Now, and best of all, you don't have to do this alone. Your intuition, that small voice that whispers inside you, is there to guide you. Trust her. Before closing, I want to leave an invitation. Try putting this into practice over the next few days. Choose a desire, something that is meaningful to you. Take 5 minutes out of your day to imagine this desire as if it were already real. Feel the emotion, live the moment. And throughout the day, pay attention to what you say to yourself. If you notice thoughts of doubt, replace them with affirmations of confidence. It's happening. I'm on the path. Note any change, no matter how small a new idea, an unexpected conversation, a feeling of lightness, okay? These are the clues that your reality is transforming. This journey into four-dimensional Caney is more than a 20-minute conversation. It is a call to awaken the creator within you. You are more powerful than you know, and the world is waiting to reflect the visions you cultivate. So go ahead, imagine boldly, believe strongly, and live with purpose. Your reality is ready to be shaped. Thank you for embarking on this adventure with me. If this message touched you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Spread this idea that we can all be architects of our lives, okay? And maybe we'll meet again to explore more ways to make our dreams come true. Until next time.